me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This will be taken about the 12. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now let's discuss Antonio Brown as he heads back out there now. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter. They start with a give to Connor. And he'll get this up only to about the 33.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Looking to throw on second down. Bird. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First down. Bird. And an alley to run. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play. And it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first. Connor. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you off sides. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Let's go! 1,
from the gun. Bird. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
This quarterback now just 7 of 15 so far, but he's got a 1st and 10.
Here we go. What?
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Let's go.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Here we go.
Looking to throw. Bird into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line.
All right, let's go ahead and just add it up here. Their last 3 drives, 2 fumbles and an interception. Somewhere, to paraphrase one of the great coaches of the NFL, they're asking on that sideline, what the heck is going on out there?
30. Go.
After the interception, here's Tannehill. And his throw here's incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Zero. 30.
Tannehill now to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Kenny Stills the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. The Dolphins on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
30.
Tannehill. He goes underneath to Drake. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. And taken at the 46. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get them back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, Those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he fires one incomplete. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And he's got this down to the 35. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain down to about the 33. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Come on, let's go!
To throw on 3rd down. Byrne got his man complete over the middle. That's James. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Throwing on 1st down. Byrne. A minute 57 to go in this first half. We'll come back to Miami after this.
Talk to your young quarterback.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down. Byrne, the quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. He's going to get it running right. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Steelers have now made this a one-score game.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Boswell for the extra point. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that will shave one more off this lead. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's Ryan Tannehill and the Dolphin offense back out onto the field. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why, looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. Now a first down throw, Tannehill. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On first down, it's Tannehill. Throw left side complete. It's Boyd. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On 1st and 10, Tannehill. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Throwing again is Tannehill. Dancing to his left. And avoids the contact by sliding. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Let's go.
A final shot before break. Bird steps it, and he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So the two teams will head to the locker rooms here in Miami with the Dolphins on top. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Most teams in the league hitting the three-quarter pole in the preseason. The whole league will be in action next Thursday night to wrap it all up. And then we start for real a week after that with the NFL kickoff game. In our game, expect to see the starters for at least one more drive, something to look forward to as we get you back out to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Our starters likely to be out there for the third quarter as we get back underway in this second half. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard. Line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Now on first down, Drake again. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest game, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
To throw on second down is Tannehill. Wide open receiver complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Tannehill hands to Drake. And down to the 36-yard line here. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. As we surmise, Charles, most of the starting units still out there for this third quarter. First time this preseason that they played into the second half.
And that's by design. Most of the time by this point of the preseason, you want them to go into the half, cool down, and then come back out and warm up to start the third quarter like you would a regular season game. That's exactly what they wanted to get done.
So that'll back them up 5. They were looking good on second down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8. Out of the gun, Tannehill. Incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. They'll fake it. Now Tannehill. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown.
Good job, Anthony Brown.
First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Gonna jump it.
Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Off the play fake. Bird.
Bam!
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Preston Smith in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players than football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Let's go!
Throwing on 3rd and long. Bird. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
So it looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here's Drew Kaiser now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. The Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the inning, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
The drive will commence with a run by Balazs. And that gets him a little room as he'll take this up over the 10-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
We talk about setting a tone or beginning a drive. That run was absolutely textbook. I'm telling you, partner, now they're not just thinking about an easy drive. They're thinking about maybe taking it downfield.
Yeah, started at their 2. Now they've got a heavy amount of breathing room. Draw play. Tannehill gives to Drake. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And it's caught by Parker. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Hustle, we're walking. We're all walking. Set. Waiting.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Cameron Hayward in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
And that's the 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name
keep
it.
working,
He's
Cam.
a big-time guy you have to block.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Here's Tannehill. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Good job, Kelly.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And instead, they want to throw it off play action. And he finds Stills complete. A big play there on the catch and run. 74 yards.
Similar to a slant, it's all about timing when you're throwing a crossing route. Quarterback and receiver have to be in sync, and when they put it on them just right and catch it full speed, running through the defense can often result in a big pickup of yardage.
Oh, damn, he left you right at the line of scrimmage. You got it. He left you right at the line of scrimmage. Come on, man.
A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. From the red zone now, Tannehill.
Oh!
And he takes a shot on the release, as this will be incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Albert away and bring up 2nd down.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. His throw incomplete. His drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. In for the score. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown.
Come on, man.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. They'll try and run it here. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
All right, guys, let's go.
Defensively, certainly not fooled there. Play started at the 2, and he was tackled at the 2.
That has to feel good for them. Not happy about having given up the touchdown, but stopping the 2-point conversion gives them a little bit of a lift as they head to the bench.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing to start the drive. Bird. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 7 yards on the quick slant and a 1st down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Let's go.
On 1st and 10, Bird. Man open left side is Brown. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. For Brown, that's his 5th catch. So 5 catches over 50 yards. You might as well set your watch to that. He does it every game.
Think about 2013. The only player in NFL history to have at least 5 catches and at least 50 yards in every single game in an NFL season. So that's not just talent. That's durability. That's dependability. That's a guy who really wants to play each and every week.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, that's Connor. Only a pickup of 2, but that's all they needed for the 1st.
They had yet to run the ball at all on this drive, but 3rd and short definitely was a great time to dial one up.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 49-yard line.
Let's go! Brand 38!
Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved. That's going to set them back 5 yards. A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Back to throw. Byrd. Now the ball comes loose. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
It's 4 fumbles, dog. It's 4 fumbles.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. On 1st down, Tannehill. It's caught. Stills right side. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Running, it's Drake. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Right back to Drake. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. The linebacker Ryan Shazier there to make the tackle.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This time it's 3rd and 3. Drake off the give from Tannehill. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it.
Oh, man, way to come up and hit him. Let's beat up. Oh, yeah, Tannehill.
That's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here.
Oh, man. doesn't work there.
We get going in quarter number 4. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Let's go! Grand 38!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. And on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Here's the backup, Jacoby Brissett. And an alley to run. And he slides to avoid the hit. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go! What?
Now Brissett, the backup, his first throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Baby.
And with a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Let's go! What?
On 2nd down, Brissett again. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up 3rd down. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Here's Brissett, and he finds McDonald. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives them a new set of downs. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And they'll run it here. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Brissett now on 2nd down. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
They'll run here with Balazs. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Looking to throw. Hines. And that's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and out will come the offense as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
Here we go.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that is supposed to.
Trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. Cordray Tankersley with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. Turnover that just got him the football back. Obviously a big one, because had they been able to score on the other side, this would have been a one-possession game.
So you don't sense full relief here, though?
No, I don't. Especially with the ball this deep in their own territory, because you make a mistake, they got right back in prime position.
They certainly do. So now, almost like almost like a 4-minute offense, right? Take care of this bad boy. Make sure the other team doesn't touch it, but move it with consistent gains. Wear down the clock and make them use their timeouts in this situation.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Come on, let's go. White 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Shifts by him. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Back to throw. Hines. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. They'll run 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. With his guys trailing here in the 4th, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Play action now. Brissett. He's going to float this one deep right side. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter if there's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. That was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything. All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Brissett now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half.
You know what?
Not bad.
He
First
just
and
threw
10.
two incomplete passes, you freaking morons.
On play action, Brissett.
Oh, damn.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Guys feet back in the middle.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Let's go. White 90. White 90.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. This will be caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They knew they had the free play after the penalty. They get great yardage, so they can decline that penalty.
And one of the things we've seen develop more and more in recent years, our team seeing that penalty occur and still taking the big shot downfield and hoping to gain the yardage as we just saw there. They practice it, they work on it, and this time they're successful.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Into the air once more. It's Brissett. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. But it looked like the Steelers were able to recover, and they will indeed hold on to the ball.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Let's go. White 90. White.
He's going to get it running right. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great play there. Ready for the regular season with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Steelers are able to make this a close game again. Nice execution there. Good job by the O-line getting him in for the 2nd time.
And you always have to start with credit there when you're having a big game. I mean, you don't get there by yourself. That's rare. But how about the ability to see the proper holes, pick the proper place to go, and find his way into the end zone?
So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you'd think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively.
Oh, I thought you were going to get there, McClung. I thought you were going to get there. Oh, I thought you jumped it.
That'll make this a 2nd down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Hey, come on, let's go.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Hines. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins 1st down.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. Nice chunky yardage picked up there.
And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Give the tackle there to Morgan Burnett. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on first down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on, because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football?
Oh, good job,
Yes, they get the
go, go, go.
they need it. It's
Go,
intercepted.
go, 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 go. Good job, Anthony Brown.
This one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. This game has been defensively oriented on both sides, so I guess it stands to reason that the play of the game comes on defense.
So it's my kind of game. You know that.
That's right.
Anytime we have
That's
a
right.
defensive battle, but that, as you said, it stands to reason that's the way the game tilted. Someone had to make a big play, and the way the defenses were dominating, that's exactly what we got.
All right, now a big two-point conversion attempt still to come.
Let's go. What?
Out of the gun, Brissett. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Just inside the 5-yard line.
Well, my decision to me was all about pulling up the chart. You know, that beautiful chart that tells you when to go for 2, when to
love
go
that
for
chart.
1. I do love it. It helps you with your decision-making during heated times. And just look at it right here in this point of the game. Go for 2. Try and make it a field goal difference.
But now just up 1 makes the rest of this fourth quarter a little more interesting.
Yeah, they followed the chart. They just didn't get the 2 points on the board, did they?
Nope.
Come on, let's go. What? 90.
Throwing after the interception.
Oh, yeah. Go, go, go. Good job, baby.
And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown.
Good job.
So that is 2 pick sixes he's thrown in this football game. Now, you take those away, Charles, it's a completely different situation.
It totally is, but guess what? They have to deal with what they have now, okay? So they can't just mentally go, well, if we hadn't thrown those pick sixes, we'd be okay. Here's where you are. Here's where you're going to battle. But guess what? They're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers defense getting ready here for this next possession.
Here we go. Brand 38.
Throwing after the interception. Hines.
Oh, what the-
It's a short one here.
What the hell was that?
An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Damn, dude, you fell down. I mean, hold on, man. What was that? Who was it? Number 24? Yeah, right here. Oh, and what are you doing?
Not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of
Here we go.
yardage.
Brand 38. Brand 38.
On first down, Hines, and incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
What? 90.
Looking to throw. Hines.
Good job.
As he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. Oh, it's a wobbler here. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now.
Here we go.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. And not a whole lot doing there. So get it up to about the 28-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They run again with Breida. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage.
2-minute warning.
No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Come on, let's go. What? 90.
On 3rd down, Brissett. And this is caught by Jackson. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
Let's go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive, take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
Here's Drew Kaiser now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. .44 on his first punt. This is a good kick as well. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time, gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution.
Here we go.
Back to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll make it 3rd and 1. He'll look to throw.
Good job!
Oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted.
Good job, Pat. Way to get him.
Read it well, and it's picked. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
It's just been one mistake after another on the offensive side of the ball. That's now 3 interceptions to go along with 2 fumbles for them. And if you're going to turn the ball over 5 times in a game, your chances to win have to be about 100 to 1. And it's not looking good for them here.
That's why we brought you guys back.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
That's why we brought you guys back. Nick? I got him, Coach. I'm right with him. Get your head around. Good job, Nick. I'm right with him.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation. Well, partner, it's just preseason, but it always feels good to be in victory formation, taking the knee for the W.
Yeah, I've often thought to myself when I watch these preseason games, some teams need the wins more than others. You know, if you're established and you're used to winning, not quite the same. But if you're trying to learn how to win, it's important to get it done. And to be able to kneel down at the end, even better.
Good job, guys.